guys, and welcome back to another podcast by us. I'm here with
Callum.
And in this one we will be reviewing the games from last week, which I believe was the fourth week.
Game week 4 it was.
Week 4, and it kicked off at 12:30, I think, on a Saturday with Crystal Palace versus Tottenham. It was probably the shock result of the weekend, don't you think?
I think both of us had it down as a Tottenham 1-0 victory. So for both of us it was a bit of a shock result, but I think Palace was very dominant the whole game.
I think Palace played very well. They thoroughly deserved to win that game.
The only bit that I would say is the red card was a changing point for the entirety of the game.
Yeah.
My opinion, I think they should have been sent off, Tanganga. I also feel like Zaha could have easily been sent off for the earlier incident that Tanganga got his first yellow card for, in the fact that he did raise his hands against Tanganga's face.
Yeah. I think he did thrust his arms towards his face, didn't he?
Yeah, and depending on the referee, they might have deemed that as physical conduct. So could have easily given him a straight red card for it.
But I also think that Tanganga could have easily avoided that red card. Especially that second challenge on a yellow card was so needless and stupid.
It was quite reckless, yes, I do agree with that. But I think the first one where he's shoulder barged Zaha out of the way, I think they weren't going to stop. They had a man down injured. The decent thing is, you saw it a couple of seasons ago with Leeds. Who were they playing in the Championship? Can't remember the game.
Villa.
Pardon?
It was against Villa.
That was it, yeah. And Leeds went on to score, and then allowed Villa to go score afterwards.
Yeah.
It would have been a decent thing to. There's an injured man on the floor. Put the ball out of play.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if within a few seasons' time, there's a rule about that, because as you saw there and in the Leeds game that time, then it's just. It depends on morals. Have done it. You see it all the time. A player will be down, and the team put it out of play. But then again, you sometimes see it where they just carry on and try and take advantage.
Well, we saw it later on in the weekend in the Liverpool game. I know that's different circumstances, which we'll get onto later. However, the game was stopped once he had gone down. So
yeah. Alright, let's move on to the Arsenal game. They finally got a win this season in their relegation battle against Norwich. To be fair, I thought Arsenal, I know it was against Norwich, who have just come up, but I think Arsenal did look a lot better this week compared to how they have looked. I think I think he's a centre back, or he's definitely a defender. He looked very
right
good.
Back. Tomiyasu.
Yeah, he looks alright.
But I also feel that they didn't look convincing as well.
I think they played well. They just it was their finishing that was a little bit iffy, and the goal was just a mess. It was the most Arsenal goal you could score. It was so it was a fluke. They did not mean to do that.
I also put down that I don't think Arsenal looked convincing. I think they were the better of the two sides.
Yeah.
They come up against the mid-table side. They're not getting that 3 points.
Well, maybe it was just Norwich made them look better than they were.
I also said that I'm giving up on hope on Norwich doing well this season.
I told you.
Yeah, I think that is a poor prediction from me in
I don't know what
saying
it is
that
with
they were going to
Norwich.
finish as high.
Norwich in the Premier League just don't go.
Yeah,
um, onto another newly promoted side, Brentford, conceded in the last minute to Brighton. What did you make of that
thought
one as your
thought it was a very even game. Thought both sides could have easily won, but I think a draw would have been a fair result. Um, had Tony. Oh, I thought he was going to score that one where he almost lobbed
from the halfway
Sanchez from the
line?
halfway line. Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
think Tony was looking better this game than I've seen him in the last 3 games.
fair play to Brighton. They made their chance count right at the end of the game. So
Yeah, but I feel a bit bad for Brentford because I think they deserved more from that game.
yeah, I do as well. But they'll
They got
pick
to take
up
their
those scrappy
chances.
points. Yeah, they've got to take their chances, and they'll pick up some scrappy points occasionally. Like,
Yeah, I mean there's still 34 games to go. They
yeah,
look alright.
exactly. They've got that was their first loss of the season. Beat Arsenal, and I think they drew the second two game, the second and third game. So
So they're doing alright.
on 5 points, can't complain that from a newly promoted side. You look at the other two, and they're struggling. So
Struggling hard. Alright. City. Man City getting a 1-0 win away at Leicester. What do you think about that one?
I, considering they're meant to be two good sides, I thought it was a pretty boring game.
Yeah. I said, I think, in the last one that I thought it was going to be a very good game and it was very boring.
I think Vardy's goal, 100% offside. I think there's no disputing that.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Um, City were just lucky to get that win. Like the way
Yeah.
that the ball fell to Bernardo Silva from just to rifle it into the back of the net. Like
It was well, not similar to the Arsenal goal, but it was just lucky.
it was lucky. I wouldn't say it's similar, but it was lucky. Yeah, both goals were very lucky.
But I think Man City played alright. I think Kasper Schmeichel played very well in that game.
I think he is one of the best keepers in the league.
Oh, easily.
I think he's probably the best keeper outside the top six.
Definitely. I think he's class.
I think he's better than Bernd Leno and
Pickford.
Ramsdale. I think he's better than Pickford.
I think Schmeichel's one of the best keepers in the Premier League.
Yeah,
Up there with the best.
yeah, do agree, mate.
So on to my team now. Beating Newcastle 4-1. All I can say is Ronaldo.
Yeah,
He start,
yeah, I've got that down as well. Like,
he started off a little bit like a few shots were a little bit wayward, like a bit of this, bit of that, but he still just came through. Their first goal, it was just tapping, but he made that run knowing there was the possibility of the keeper parrying. The second goal was, I think, was a very good touch to take it away from the defender, and he just passed it straight through the keeper. Even though I think the keeper probably should do better. I think Bruno's goal was fucking beautiful. Not the
I think
best.
that could,
What was you
I
gonna
think
say?
that could
Sorry,
be goal. I reckon that could be goal of the month.
I'm not sure. I think Townsend's one will be goal of the month.
I reckon it could be close between the two of them.
But then again, it is still half a month to go, so we'll see. And
The
then
reason why I think Bruno's going to win it is because it's Man United.
and what? It's rigged, like Lucas
Yeah,
says.
yeah,
Alright.
it's rigged.
And then on to the last goal, Lingard. I thought that was a very good goal as well.
Great team goal.
It was very nice. That's all I really got to say about that game. Just I'm happy that Ronaldo's back and he's actually making a difference.
I thought that Newcastle, obviously, their goal was on the break, but they did look good at points.
Yeah.
Think they do. They Newcastle, like I've been saying since week one, they've got a few good players. Like, but I think they're just not good enough.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Like, some of their players are amazing, but then they've got other positions where they're not good.
Like, I think their front three, in if you play Joe Willock, Glenn St. Maximan, and Callum Wilson, is one of the best in the bottom half.
Yes, definitely.
But then you look at their defence and you're just like, their defence is all over the place. Like,
Yeah, they've got to focus on their defence a little bit more in the next windows
yeah.
because it's not all about attack, and you saw that conceding 4 goals.
Yeah.
Onto your team. 0-0 draw away at Southampton. What do you
Considering that
think?
both of us put them down to be relegation like favourites, that game against Southampton felt like a loss again. That's two games in a row that it's felt like a loss for us.
Yeah, I thought it was quite boring, to be honest.
I think, if I'm being honest, Southampton had the better opportunities.
Yeah, your best opportunity was probably from the corner,
Yeah,
and then Southampton went on to break. But yeah, I think Antonio.
stupid.
It
That's
was
all I'm going
it
to
was
say
very
about that.
stupid. Like, it was
Why have
so
you gone in for
needless.
that challenge? Yeah,
Like, so needless. It was like late on in the game.
you don't need to make that challenge.
No, just and I think that's going to affect you in the next couple of weeks.
It definitely affected my fantasy. That's all I'm going to say.
Same. Watford versus Wolves. It was 2-0 Wolves. I've got one thing written down for that, and I was just Wolves deserved the win. They were the better team.
Wolves looked good.
They
Wolves
did.
did look very good. You had a few good chances by Semedo.
And if it's someone else there, not a right back, they are going to be finished.
Yeah, I think Trincao, very good player, looked very comfortable. Was doing flicks around the corner. Like, he
Yeah.
could be quite dangerous for them this season. But realistically, they should be scoring more, Wolves. Like,
Yeah, they have to. If they had, if their players could finish, that game would have been 4-5-0.
yeah,
But I also have to say that I think even though they lost 2-0, Backman, or whatever his name, I think it's Batchman,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Watford keeper, he still made some good saves. Keep the score quite low.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
it
don't
could have
think
got a
that
little.
Watford. Don't think Watford are looking comfortable in the Premier League.
No, they're definitely not. The last game of the Saturday was Chelsea. 3-0 win over Villa. I'm a little bit disappointed from Villa now. I expected them to do a little bit better,
They had some good chances though.
and they just didn't take them.
Yeah, I think Watkins had a good chance. I think Mendy kept them in the game for points,
Yeah,
kept Chelsea in the game at points. But realistically, Villa should be scoring those chances.
definitely. I just think Chelsea are looking very strong this year, and Lukaku is a beast.
Yeah, hands down. He's gonna help Chelsea so much this season.
I think it's going to be a very good title race this year.
Yeah, I do think so. He's just a presence, isn't he? He scored two and he forced a mistake into the third and the second goal.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, he is class. Very good signing. On to the Sunday now. We watched this one together.
yeah, we
Leeds,
did. And quite nice to watch it together finally.
I know. Leeds Liverpool. Do you want to start it off?
Can we talk about the red card to start with? Because that's going to be the biggest talking point of this whole game.
Yeah,
I thought it was horrible to see Harvey Elliott get injured for such a young player. Like, he's got such good potential in front of him, and to have like a horrid injury like that, horrible to see. However, is that challenge a red card offence?
definitely
No.
not.
Was the ref even going to blow up for a foul? No. Not until Salah started crying his eyes out and calling all of the medical team onto the pitch.
Yeah,
He wasn't going to give that as a foul, let alone a red card.
yeah, I do feel bad for Strauch because he was having a very good game, and
If you,
it was. I just don't think it was a red. I had beef with some geezer on Twitter about it because they were saying it was clearly a red. I was like, it just isn't. It was like a freak accident, and there was no like bad intentions in it. He like won the ball. His like trailing leg just sort of like came through, and Harvey Elliott's studs was stuck in the ground.
yeah, in my opinion, there was nothing wrong with the challenge. It was a freak accident, and even Harvey Elliott has said that on Instagram, Twitter. He's come out and said that there was nothing wrong with the challenge, and that it should have been rescinded
And
because it hasn't been, and I
no,
feel bad for him.
I feel very bad for him as well, and I feel bad for Leeds because he played very well for them, and I think they're going to miss him, and they're not doing so well this season.
Yeah,
But apart from
looking
that,
at looking at the game, I think Rodrigo had a chance very early on that he should have finished.
he definitely should have finished it.
It was literally straight at Allison. But overall, Liverpool were just too good.
Yeah, and I don't think Leeds are playing so well this season. They haven't got into their stride like they had last year.
Well, Bamford almost caught Allison out with the lob from the halfway line.
Yeah,
That was unlucky, but apart from that, they didn't really create much, I think.
no, I think Liverpool definitely deserved to win that game.
Yeah.
And now moving on to the last game of the weekend, which was on the Monday, Everton versus Burnley. Yeah, I just in this game, Everton just sort of hit their groove on the hour mark, didn't they? And just smashed 3 in 6 minutes, and one of those
Everton
goals being the Townsend, like
screamer.
it was a screamer.
I think Everton are going to be the dark horses this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they're pushing for Europe at the end of the day.
It's Doucouré, Townsend, Damari Gray. They're all just playing so well.
Doucouré had an outstanding game on Monday.
He did.
Gray. The problem with Gray is he's had good chances and has scored them all. That is the thing. He has scored all of his chances. That won't stay forever.
No. He's going to come to a point where his form sort of dips.
Yeah.
It's just up to him if he can get back out of it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you got anything else to say about the weekend games?
I just thought Townsend goal was incredible, really. He had a few efforts. He had that one, and then he had another one. I don't know if you saw it later on in the game. And it was... ball just didn't move, or it moved slightly, but it was very... It's like an arrow sort of thing, like slight move from left to right.
Yeah.
I thought that was unlucky. Good save by only keeper. Was it Pope in goal or not?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Pope's a good keeper. That's all right.
Yeah, I think Townsend's weird. He doesn't often score, I don't think. Well, he doesn't score all the time, but when he does, they're like screamers. Like that one he scored against City, the volley.
Yeah. He can score an incredible goal.
He's got a rocket on him.
Yeah. Anything else to add on this week's games?
I think that's it, mate.
Well, thanks for everyone who's listening. In the next one, we'll do the Game Week 5 predictions. We've decided to break it up into 2 separate podcasts rather than have one long one. So, hope you enjoyed this Game Week 4 review.
See you later, guys.
Later.